an obsessive dog, worshipping his master as she slept. For a while, you were obsessed with the idea of a specific love. You wanted the type that corrodes and suffocates. You remember when you first met him, the person who you would create the perfect love from. Please tell me I'm not going to manipulate this sweet baby into being a yandere for me. It took you a second, but you recognized the color of it. Ryan's eyeball. The red that was slathered on his face, the choice of words. You looked down. You couldn't touch the floor anymore. Your legs were gone. Because there are a lot more endings that need to be found with our little friend here, with our poor Milo. Okay, so in the last video, we drugged Ryan back, who allegedly drugged us, but we didn't choose to see what would happen if we stalked him. So, what would happen if we did that? He would catch us too easily. Stalking is the way to go. Even though when we drugged him, we just kind of grabbed his drink and poured the stuff in right in front of him and was all like, drink it, fool. Stalking him? Ah, I understand. Like finding the best time to ambush. That's right, my muffin. Stalking has so many different applications. How useful. Won't it be fun to have a stakeout together? Together? He fidgets with his hands in nervous happiness. How cute. Even with his more violent nature, he still maintained his romantic side. You walk around your dorm, trying to look for what you might need for this endeavor. You think carefully about what you would need to stalk Ryan. Cameras, darker clothing. Well, we used to date, so I know his schedules. It should be easy. I see him tense up at this new information. What? A mix of fear and jealousy cloud his eyes. What a cute reaction. My muffin, are you jealous? Afraid he might take me away from you? I would never let you escape me. You're mine now, you know. Aww. We've ruined him, we've ruined the boy. Or we've awakened him, I don't know. It's just a jest, my muffin, as if I would ever go back to him. We were just toying with each other anyways, him more than me. It was all lies anyways, just something to kill time. But it was obvious that Milo wouldn't let this go so easily. Why don't we focus on watching over Ryan first? Or would you rather stalk me instead? You said it as if it were a joke, but you watched as Milo's eyes widened. Cute. Ah, but we'd have to be a bit more hidden, so I got these. You pulled out some matching hats that you had gotten. I think you would look good in them. This is... Do you not like my gift, Milo? He hugged it close to his chest, almost in a childish manner. No, this is mine now. Aw, how cute. He fidgets awkwardly, seeming a bit flustered that he had been complimented. Aw. From wolf to puppy, it was very like him. He put it on afterwards. How does it look? How handsome. He's looking away, not sure what to say. Well then, let's get to work. Aww. It's the least he deserves for what he's pulled. For a while, we followed Ryan around, secretly and with gentle steps. Enough that he would never know it was us. But obvious enough to know that someone was watching him. At first, it wasn't anything. Harmless, in fact. We watched him, but never did anything to him. But Milo got impatient. At first, it was just acts of violence, breaking his windows, trashing his dorm. A little bit out of control, you thought. Next was the letters, sending him threat after threat, cutting out words and letters, promising to tear off his head and his legs. Pictures of his friends, promising to gut them alive. You had almost felt bad for him, the way Milo tore into him. At some point, he couldn't leave his dorm room for a bit, afraid that someone out there would kill him if he stepped out. How does Ryan not know it's us? Who else is messing with him this bad? You could tell Milo was amused at this. Whatever sense of guilt he had was gone. After all, to him, Ryan deserved this more than anything. He had tried to hurt you, and it was a threat to his everything. It was enough to almost make you laugh. It became harder to meet Ryan in person to work on your project. Oh yeah. Is something wrong, Ryan? I haven't been seeing you in class. At least it doesn't seem like you've been slacking on our project.
This is too much. It's Milo, isn't it? Please tell him to stop. I know what I did was wrong, but I don't want to live like this anymore. All these threats, he's breaking into my dorm.
I'm not sure he would even listen to me anymore. He seems heck-bent on getting revenge. Nothing I can do.
But this is what you wanted, right? Please, just make it stop.
You ponder a bit, contemplating on shortening Ryan's suffering. Milo's been too rough lately. As much as I'd hate to admit it, I do need you to finish the project with me. So I'll convince him. You have my word. You can see his shaking stop, the relief in his eyes bringing back life.
Really?
Of course. I wouldn't trust me if I were me. Let's do well in this project together. It wasn't just Ryan that Milo watched. You had noticed that he could never tear his eyes off of you, either. Uh-oh. It had almost scared you the first time you saw him, standing outside your dorm in the middle of the night. His eyes never wavering, watching, observing. At some point, he had disappeared and started to come inside of your dorm at night. It was almost clumsy the way he tried to get into your dorm. You could hear him walk into your house, the footsteps soft but noticeable. You're dealing with a professional. You're trying to flim-flam a flim-flammer. You're trying to stalk a stalker, dude. He'd even knocked over something like an awkward puppy. Every night he came in and watched you sleep. He held your hand sometimes, even climbed in bed to sleep next to you. Sometimes he would simply chant your name like a mantra. Oh. An obsessive dog, worshipping his master as she slept. Some nights, he would simply sit there, watching you. His eyes hungry, as if he wanted to eat you alive. Soon after, you noticed that some of your clothes would go missing for days on end, only for them to be returned to you a couple days later. But there were some that you would never get back. Milo! How strange. I can't seem to find one of my sweaters. It's too bad, too. I had that one for a long time. Milo would tense up a bit every time you would mention something missing. It might just be lost forever. Sometimes it gets eaten in the laundry machine or something, right? A sweater eaten by the laundry machine? How silly. But it made you happy that his mind was so enraptured by you. You were certain he was about to become your perfect love. It took a while to convince Milo to cease his actions. Quit it! Even when he promised to do so, you would see him go behind your back to continue. I see, Milo. You do want me to fail, then. You want me to move schools so that we're forced to separate. Is that what you're telling me? Do you think you could leave so easily? I'd simply break your legs and keep you somewhere where no one could find you. Ah, how romantic. Couldn't you just hold on a bit longer, my muffin? Then, after... You lean towards his ear. You can cut my Achilles tendon and take me as you want. Or maybe not, or maybe don't, or maybe not do any of that. The idea left him breathless. He was smiling. Just keep him alive for me, all right? Just enough to finish the project. All right, I'll do it. I can't wait until you're completely mine. There's no going back now. And so, with that, Ryan was safe, for now. And you were his well-guarded treasure. Milo stopped his threats, for now, but his frequency of breaking in would increase. Aww, always contemplating if he should take you right now, as you slept peacefully. He always held your hand near his face. Sometimes you wondered if he was contemplating chopping it off and keeping it for himself. Please don't Kira me. Not that you minded that. So desperate for your touch to drink up every second of being with you. You wanted more. More. And so, for a while, nothing else out of the blue went on. It was always just you and Milo. And so he continued to come into your house, trying silently, watching you as you slept. Yet you could hear his breathing. He watched over you night after night. You could tell he really wanted to take you somewhere far away, to perhaps a basement or an attic, somewhere where you would never be found. But he was too unsure, too indecisive to do so. Despite what he had changed into, he was still your dog. He needed to be trained on what to do. Just one final push. He was walking with you across campus as usual, looking around, fidgeting a bit. Is there something on your mind, Milo? Milo stops for a moment and hesitates. You've really changed me for the better. Before, I was such a weakling, pushed around constantly. But now, no one will dare do such a thing. He holds your hand tenderly. And now, I'm happier than ever. It's all thanks to you. He leans his head against your shoulder. I could watch you forever. We're going to be together forever, right? You breathed out slowly as you heard his words. Ah, poor simple Milo. His fate was sealed for good. Just one more push. I wish that were true, Milo, that we could be together until our graves. But let's be honest here, my muffin. Do you really think that will happen? Do you really think I would never break up with you? Milo. No. No! I won't let you. You're mine, my one and only girlfriend. After all those times I protected you, after all I've done, you're just going to throw me away? Like trash? Like junk? You and I promised we would be together. If it's not with you, I would rather kill you myself. I should have just taken you while you were sleeping. Broken your legs and your arms. Make it so that you can't leave me.
Milo, don't be silly.
There's nothing left for me. I only exist for you. Nobody else. Only you. Without you, what's the point of living? Why should I even exist?
Milo,
I implore you to reconsider. You leaned closer to him, next to his ear.
my muffin, it's the world around us that wants to take us apart. They're always planning, scheming, watching us fall apart. Don't you see?
There's no way to escape it. You lean back, closing your eyes as if contemplating. Well, maybe there is a way. Milo's eyes light up. He leaned closer to you. What? What is it? Whatever it is. I refuse to let them take us. You cocked your head slightly. The final push. The only way for us to stay together forever is... So since we've gone the path of stalking instead of drugging, I'm assuming both of these will now be something different. So, what's to get rid of them? What would happen if I chose you to get rid of them?
This world is a cruel place, isn't it, my muffin? All this rot that tries to tear us apart?
Then there's only one thing for you to do. Destroy them all. When they're all gone, then I will be yours. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. You weren't sure, but it felt like a haunting red, ready to slaughter them all off.
Milo, you understand what I mean, right? I'm sure if it ever comes to that, you'll know what to do.
My muffin has always been so smart. That's why I will protect you from everyone in this world. If only to make sure you sleep well at night. I would snap every neck to make it so you sleep soundly through the night. You can't help but smile happily at the results.
This next part will be fun.
Oh, hey, Ryan. We got some business to attend to. What kind of insane person would do that? Then he breaks into my house, threatens me with letters and bricks? I could barely leave my door without fearing for my life. Just leave me alone. I did everything you asked, right? You smiled slightly, and he snapped at you. All of this, it's your fault. Why those people died? Why I'm still in this situation? I wish you would just die. Leave me alone.
Please, don't make yourself into such a saint.
Weren't you the one who wanted to prank all those people, even though you knew it was dangerous? And who was the one who shifted the blame to others so you wouldn't be jailed? Don't you think it's the least you could do after you cheated on me? Come on, just admit it. You refused to break up with me. I didn't want to be with you anymore.
He's hyperventilating from the stress. It was a joy to watch him struggle.
Just like when you were together with him, it was so entertaining watching him flounder about, watching him cry, watching him beg, forcing him to go through such lengths to get rid of you. When you got bored of him, you tricked him into cheating with someone. He was never your perfect love in the first place. Never would have been. You pull out a USB, and Ryan's eyes widen with fear. Is that...
It is the last piece of evidence that proves that you were the one who killed those people.
Would be a shame if it went into the wrong hands. Ryan lunged at you, desperately trying to grab the USB from your hands, but you dodged him.
That's the spirit.
Silence filled the air all of a sudden.
Milo's hands gripped onto Ryan's face as he looked up, gripping tighter and tighter. Ryan's muffled panic, and then screams as you hear the sound of cracking. Muffled screaming, the frantic clawing of Milo's hand. You think to yourself that he will break his skull, but he suddenly lets go of him, causing Ryan to stumble backwards and fall. Before Milo crushes the USB and his hand with it. Slowly, he comes to you and hugs you. "Ah, my muffin, did he hurt you?" His words were kind, but his tone... It was as if he was going to crush you in anger as well. "Don't worry, I will never let this happen again. I won't let those dirty monsters touch you. I will get rid of them all. I will protect you." His voice sounded as if he had made an oath, a promise that had chained the two of you together. He lets go. And all you can see is the red in his eyes. You never saw Ryan again. They had found his body fallen at the end of a cliff. That seems pretty merciful. It seemed that he had went hiking with some friends of his at night, and never came back. You remembered that night that Milo wasn't there to watch you sleep. When you saw him the next day, the faint smell of metal came off of him. And slowly, just as it were, accidents became frequent around your college. 2 people in your class that had accidentally stepped on your shoe were found dead in a car accident only weeks later. The professor that had given you a hard time and almost failed you was found at the wrong end of town with his body torn up and his bones broken. Anyone that crossed you would suddenly be dead only moments later. And at night, you would find Milo, drenched in red, sitting, watching you. "You're getting blood in the carpet, Milo. I don't have enough peroxide to clean it out." The blood on his face, shining from the lights outside. These coincidences, these accidents, it became obvious that they were anything but. And slowly, the college became paranoid of who would be the next victim. The Blood-Eye Killer, they called him, with etchings of the eye drawn in red marker. Cool. He became an urban legend. The eyes that watched you every night. The eyes of the person who protected you. The police came to gather, questioning the students around them, desperate to find the killer. When they had questioned you, though... "Oh, it's quite frightening. I was working on a project with the first victim a while ago. Though I did hear that he had ticked off a lot of people, I didn't think it would end like this." "Is there someone that I think could be the killer?" "Why would I think of something like that?" "No one comes to mind that I can think of. Really, there's nothing to worry about. Whatever was left of the quiet, shy Milo was made into a killer to protect you. He would do anything to protect you, anything to make you safe. All of those bodies were simply collateral, disposable things to create the love you deserved. Truly, this was the perfect love you wanted all along. A perfect killer end." Okay. What if to protect me? How would he protect me now that he has stalking under his belt? And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. It felt as if you would simply freeze in place looking at him. As if he would do anything to make you his. I think that you know what I'm talking about, right, Milo? Sometimes those kind of things simply can't be helped. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? You were always mine to begin with. How could I ever take my eyes off of you, even during the darkest times? You nearly laughed at the results that you had produced. You couldn't wait until he broke. It seemed that Ryan pinned you down. You had ended up bruising something on your body. You let out a loud, pained noise as you stood up. Ryan didn't seem to notice at all as he held the USB in his hands. And he didn't notice Milo coming up to him, hovering and staring. He nearly squealed as Milo grabbed his wrist and broke his arm with ease. Ugh. Ryan let out a pained gasp as he instinctively dropped the USB, which Milo crushed under his foot. Perhaps I break your other arm, too. Or maybe snap your neck instead. My muffin. Upon hearing you call out to him, he immediately dropped Ryan and came by your side. Espoir, are you all right? What happened? Did he hurt you? Growling, he stood up and tried to look for Ryan, but he was nowhere to be seen. That coward! I'm going to twist his neck and... Milo tried to chase after him, but you grabbed his arm. Milo, please don't go. His rage turned to worry as he held you. I should have been there. I should have protected you from him. I should have... It's okay, my muffin. What I need right now isn't a guard dog, but someone who will care for me. Milo was stunned for a second and nodded. He lifts you up gently and carries you back to your dorm. While he walks, he's silent, looking at you over and over again. His eyes were cold, but his resolve was steady. What was he thinking, you wondered? For a while, Milo took care of you. He stayed in your dorm, cooked for you, cleaned for you. He never left your side as you lay there in bed. At night, he would watch over you as well, his cold eyes staring at you. He would always be muttering something in guilt. How could I let my girlfriend get hurt like that? This world is far too dangerous for her. She won't survive. And how could I live without them? My muffin, I won't fail you again. Espoir, espoir, espoir. It wasn't long until you had gotten better. You could sit upright again without any pain. Ah, you really are such a wonderful house husband, my muffin. I'm completely back to full health. Is he gonna start, drugging me and making me sick so that he has to keep taking care of me? Yeah. You decided to head out for your next class, but Milo stopped you before you could go out the door. What are you doing, my muffin? I won't let you go out there anymore. Strange. Didn't I just say, I won't fail again, my muffin? I swear on my life. So I thought about it. He drags a bat from behind his back and walks towards you slowly. Oh no, this is even worse than drugging my food and making me invalid. What's the best way to protect you, to make sure you can never be hurt again? I thought about it again and again. And I can't. There's no way to protect you. He looms over you as you back away from him instinctively. So I have to come to a compromise. I will take care of you forever. Even if it means I have to hurt you to do so. Ah! Before you could even turn around, Milo swung his bat at your legs. Not my leggy poos! You could feel your bones snap as he did, and you screamed, falling to the floor. I'm sorry, my muffin. He hit you again and again. Sorry, wham. Accident.
Oh, I'm sorry.
accident. Quiet drinking.
Sargi. You could feel your bones shattering as you coughed up blood. I don't want to hurt you, but there's no other way. For a second, he stopped. You heaved heavily, finally forcing air into your lungs as your body ached in pain. You were able to look up at Milo as he stared down at you, tears in his eyes. I'm sorry, my muffin. He closed his eyes, and it was dark. Did you perhaps go a bit too overboard, Milo? From then on, you never left your dorm. Not as if you could have, anyways. You were always in bed, and often it hurt to move. Milo would cry out next to you, apologizing over and over again for what he did. He took care of you, all of your needs. Anything you wanted, he would get for you. And when you got better again, oh, he would break you while crying again. A vicious cycle, over and over again. He held your hand as he sobbed loudly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even if you hate me, I can't. You lifted your hand. Milo flinched, as if expecting you would hit him. But instead, you caressed his face, and after shock, he kissed your hand. You're doing wonderfully, Milo. I couldn't have asked for a better boyfriend. Even if it hurt to move, you were content. The shape that you had molded him into. How wondrous. It was exactly the perfect love that you always wanted. And that's all you wanted. A perfect house husband and... Yeah, I guess. As long as you're both happy. Okay, going all the way back to the beginning, when we first start sinking our talons into this poor boy, all of that was the batting cage's choices. So, what happens at the party? What are all the endings that stem from that? I think it's time for you to find some new friends. Parties are a fun way to get to know people. I don't know about that. I've never been good at parties. It's a college rite of passage, and I'll be there with you. Don't worry. You can trust me. We are dating for life, aren't we? Milo's face warms up. I can almost hear his heartbeat from here. For life? Well, yeah, but saying it out loud is... You chuckle a bit. What a pure boy. Can't wait to blacken his heart and twist him into something horrible. Come on, my muffin. Let's head to the venue. I promise it'll be worthwhile. Alright, the music's pretty cool. Maybe this will be alright. We arrive in a venue, the lights flashing and the music blaring. Amongst the crowd, you see a red-haired girl dancing. Ah, Holly is here, huh? You smile. This couldn't be more perfect. Milo seems to flinch at all the stimulation he faces suddenly. Shh, it's okay, my muffin. Let's head somewhere a bit more quiet. Taking his hand, you bring him to the back where the tables are. Here goes the first part of the process. Milo, could you do something for me? What is it? If it's anything to do with bugs, I don't know if I can. It's nothing like that, my muffin. Soon you'll meet some friends of mine. Oh, that sounds nice. It sure will be. There will be a point in the conversation where I'll ask you to agree with me. You won't know what I'm talking about, but I need you to play along.
All right, my muffin. Milo seems to hesitate a bit before nodding. Okay, I'm sure whatever it is you're making me agree to is... Don't worry, it's, let's say, a way for you to learn.
What do I have planned for this poor innocent boy?
You smile slightly to reassure him, but it seems to only worry him more. Actually, I wanted to give you something for our first date. You pulled out some clip-on earrings for him. Whoa, I've always wanted to try these. If you wear them now, we'll match. You point to the ones dangling on your ear. I'll put it on right away. Oh. He clips it on eagerly and smiles giddily. Does it look good? Everything looks good on you, my muffin. Your little hat and your little glasses and your little spiked collar and your little jacket. Adorable.
Why do I have a feeling that that earring is bugged or a two-way walkie-talkie or something?
With that, you and Milo hurried to meet your friends. Yo, you finally made it. I was wondering if you were going to bail on us. A girl with brown hair and what looked to be a grass skirt was waving to us frantically. Valley, what do you mean by bail on you? I would never do that. Sure, like you didn't do that last time. She huffs dramatically, before seeing Milo hiding behind you. Ooh, is this your new boy toy? Cute. It's been a while. How long is this one going to last? A month? 6? My name is Milo. It's nice to meet you. Valley, I'm sure you of all people know it's not good to talk about how long a partner is going to last. Besides, you cling onto his arm, and you can feel Milo fidgeting and his body heating up again. Milo is going to be my future husband. Isn't that right, my muffin? Yeah, that's right. My muffin is my girlfriend, he seems like a bit different from the other ones you've dated. Don't you usually date more, scary people? No offense. So maybe you're right. I hope that you two have a long happiness together. She put up her cups to cheer to our new relationship. Oh, I forgot to introduce the rest of the gang. Silly me. The short one is Desmond. He's got a nasty temper. I'm going to ruin you if you call me short again, Valley. Like I said, nasty. Still, it looks like you chose a decent person to date this time. Thank you? Let's try not to disappoint, all right? I'm not really fond of troublemakers. I'll take note. Finally, there's Seth. Seth, could you stop reading for a second?
I can already tell. Seth is my kind of person. Do you have an interest in monsters of lore?
The answer is still no, Seth. He grumbles, going back to his book. I would be interested.
Really? Do you know about the monster of the forest? I heard that they kill innocents and are trying to get out.
Oh, that's... He hesitates, but ultimately grips onto your arm strongly. Aw. He's not that interested, Seth. After all, the only thing Seth cares about is being killed by a monster that doesn't exist.
They exist? How do you explain the idea that everyone that goes in never comes out?
I don't know, maybe they just fall in a pit or something, Seth.
I wonder if this is going to come into play at some point.
He grimaces, clearly annoyed at your lack of faith. Well, it's nice meeting you, Seth.
Likewise.
The conversation starts weaving and interconnecting, bouncing from topic to topic.
Insects are the grossest, aren't they? What do they need so many legs for?
The way they move is so... Ugh.
Milo shudders, imagining an insect crawling around. Speaking of insects, I think that she's here in this venue today. I saw her red hair the second I stepped in here. Valley grimaces when she mentions her, and the other two look away, not wanting to pry. I feel like this is a bad question, but Holly. Valley and her used to date, but they haven't been on good terms. That's saying it lightly. She's the one who betrayed me, got me kicked out of my last university, and for what? Weren't you stealing data from the school? The point is, she screwed me over. Should have kept her mouth shut. Speaking of which... well... Huh? Come on, tell me. Don't bail out on information. You smile, feeding on Valley's love of gossip. I think Milo saw her yesterday giving a USB to someone. Based on his description, it sounds like it had a picture of a hula girl on it. What? She took the USB that got me kicked out and then tried to sell it to someone? Luckily, it seems the deal didn't go well, and she still has it on her. Isn't that right, Milo? All eyes turn on him, and you can feel his panic from here. Espoir, what are you... Remember what you told me, Milo? You're supposed to agree with me. That you saw a girl with red hair and a green skirt try to give that USB to someone. Remember what you promised? He hesitates, but he seems to remember what you told him earlier. Earth to Milo. Now that I think about it, I did see a red-haired girl try to give the USB to someone, but I didn't know that it was yours, so It's okay, Milo. There's no way that you would have known. But I did think you deserved to know the truth, Valley. I mean, Holly did such awful things to you, and now... what a hypocrite. I was angry too when I saw her downstairs. Looking at Valley, it was obvious that she was beyond anger. She threw her chair aside and marched down the stairs. Oh no! You mother... Ooh. Arguments started immediately, along with screaming and the sounds of glass breaking. Both Desmond and Seth ran down to try to calm her down, and Milo tried to as well, but you stopped him. What? Milo, let's not deal with that mess right now, shall we? But what about... Don't worry, they can take care of it. As the fight below continued, you brought him into the hall to talk. That turned out well. It turned out even better than expected, to be honest. It took a while to plant that USB, but it's worth it to get Milo exactly where you wanted him. Not to question you or anything, but why did you make me lie about that? I mean, if you didn't bring that up, Valley wouldn't be fighting, and isn't it wrong to spread rumors like that? Is it really rumors if it's the truth? Valley has been making excuses left and right to excuse Holly's behavior towards her. No matter how much she yammers about how much she hates her, she's always had a soft spot for her. Angry about kicking her out, but never confronting her about it. Tragic. If it weren't for this, she would have never been able to snap out of it. But doing it like this is... Sometimes to get people to understand, we have to use unorthodox methods. He turns quiet, not knowing what to say. Towards people we like, towards people we hate. In the end, it doesn't really matter how we get there. It's the results that matters. You pat Milo's shoulder reassuringly. You did well, Milo. I'm proud of you.
The best way to use information is for your own benefit, right? To yours, and to those you care about. Or to destroy someone, like that bully of yours. The only way to fight fire sometimes is with fire. I mean, he'll never stop coming after you, you know. It's not wrong to protect yourself in this manner. He deserves it, doesn't he? Milo stops for a second, contemplative, then looks up at you with resolve. Please teach me, my muffin. You smile. This is really turning out better than you planned. For a while, it was our favorite thing to do together. We hung out with different people, learning about them, watching how they interact with each other. Enough to build trust, enough to be let inside. And then destroy them under the guise of helping. We pinned people against each other and watched as they ruined themselves. We sowed conflict where there hadn't been any. You and Milo were always together, the two lovebirds that flew from wire to wire. Milo changed as well. Aww! He dressed more cleanly, talked more sweetly. He could always get in and out of conversation in a pinch. He was learning how to use information as a weapon. All was well for a while, at least until... Desmond had brought Milo over to the side to talk to him. You felt tense, worried that Desmond might undo all the hard work you did. So you decided to look for them. Walking around the venue, you hear Desmond's voice in an empty hall. You're a good guy, Milo. I could tell from the moment we talked, but lately, it feels like Espoir has been leading you down the wrong path. It was just as you thought. Desmond was meddling in others' affairs again. Out of your friends, he had probably one of the stronger moral compasses, always trying to do what's right. It was irritating. But jumping in now would be... You decide to continue listening. Why? How could you say something like that about her? Without her, I would be... Listen, it's just that Espoir is the type who will get what she wants, no matter what. Whatever methods have to be used, whoever needs to be sacrificed, a person whose ends justify the means. What would she want from me, then? Desmond is silent, seeming to hesitate. I'm not sure. I doubt my muffin would do such a thing. Although he sounds confident, you can feel his hesitation. Listen, I can't control what you do, but I think you should... Suddenly, it's quiet. He must be whispering something to him. This wasn't supposed to happen. You walk towards them as if looking for Milo, interrupting them. And what are you two whispering about? Oh, Espoir, how long have you been there? I was just trying to find Milo since you guys were talking for so long. Why? Were you saying something I wasn't supposed to hear? Desmond looks away, awkwardly, as if he's been caught. Aww. It's nothing, my muffin. He just had some questions for one of our classes. I'm going to get going now. Before you can do anything, he scurries away like the rat he is. Was his sound effect a mouse, a mouse's, a mice's? You turn to Milo, who seems to gaze at you intently. What did he really say to you, Milo? You aren't trying to... His voice trails off before smiling a bit. There's no way you are. You're perfect as is. You're not sure what to say. You feel like trying to pry will cause him to doubt you more.
I think taking him to the batting cages makes his sound effect that of dogs and puppies, and taking him to the party makes his sound effect that of cats now. That's such a cute detail! You can't have this one fail on you, not when you've put so much effort into shaping him. Before you can say anything, Milo pulls you by the hand back to the group. Before long, it seems that Milo was avoiding you. Whenever you called out to him or saw him walking around campus, he would run away. He started to jump group to group to avoid you. Yet, surprisingly, it didn't seem that he had decided to end your relationship. Either way, whatever that rat said to him seemed to have worked. Are you two having a fight? Did something happen? It's nothing. It's just a silly disagreement. How annoying. If that's going to be the case, why not use it to your advantage? You were able to corner Desmond after class one day. What do you want? I have extra credit work I have to do today. It's obvious you wanted to run, but you refused to let this mouse free. I just wanted to talk about Aya, and, well, she might be in big trouble this time. His face twisted in worry. He hesitates, not sure if he wants to take the bait. Fine, but make it quick. You ended up dragging him into an empty lecture hall. He seems extremely paranoid as he comes in. What's going on with my girlfriend? Let me guess, she ended up fist-fighting the professor? Again? Was that something that happened often? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Here, I just wanted you to look at this. You show him something on your phone, and his eyes go wide with fear. Oh no, what have I done? Then, anger. What do you want? Ah, we're finally getting somewhere. Let's clean up this mess that he started. Amongst the crowd of people, you see Milo in the center of it all. The gossipers, a perfect place to gain information. They laugh as he jokes around. Everyone's eyes are on him, just as you had taught him. So somehow I ended up putting the lyrics in the paper, and he still gave me full marks. They all laugh before Desmond walks into the crowd with a grimaced look on his face. Oh, hey, Desmond, what are you... His sentence is cut off when he sees who Desmond brought with him. Sorry, Milo, he forced me to. His little squeakers. Oh no, Ryan. Yeah, I was wondering, where's Ryan through all of this? The man that had been torturing him stands before him, his face smiling with sadistic glee. Aw, his little kitty noises. Ryan. Milo's charismatic facade drops. He's turned back to the bully victim from before. Well, well, look who it is. He walks closer to Milo as he shirks away. My old friend! It's been a while. Ryan, what do you want? What do I want? I just want to hang out with my old friend is all. You know, after you abandoned us. I was really heartbroken, you know. I thought we bonded in our time together. But I understand. I mean, I'm surprised you're friends with so many people. Especially since you used to be quite the stalker in the day. Milo's face is pale. He panics as the other members whisper among themselves. No, it wasn't. Milo the stalker. I heard you followed that person around for how many days? And you even took a pair of their gym clothes. What were you doing with them, you perv? Disgusting. They made me do it. They peer pressured me and... Seriously though, does Espoir know about this? Did you tell her? Were you so afraid she'd break up with you immediately? Can you imagine her face? When they find out their lovely, cute Milo is just a filthy pervert. Milo is at a loss for what to say. He curls up into a ball. Please, just stop. Aw, don't act like that. I heard you've been avoiding your girlfriend. There's no way she'd come to save you. Come to save who now? All eyes turn to you as you walk in, unfazed by Ryan's words. Ryan looks at you, clearly unimpressed. Oh, look at that! Your muffin has come to save you. Did you feel pity for this guy after we broke up? That's pathetic, even for you. But it's not like I expected anything from you in the first place. You've always been so whiny. Clingy, disgusting. Oh, was that just me? Ryan stiffens at your words. From what I recall, you were the one who was begging on the floor. What? That's stupid. Why would I would be careful about those next words you say, Ryan. It would be terrible if everyone knew about that. Ryan goes silent. You can feel his eyes darting from place to place. As for Milo, even if he did stalk some poor bastard in the past or previous playthrough, what excuse do you have to talk down on him? Aw, he purr. As if you all are so pure-hearted and innocent. In fact, you turn to the rest of them. I know exactly the kinds of skeletons you all keep in your closet. The group looks around nervously, their faces filled with paranoia. So then, let's keep this conversation between us, all right? You turn to Ryan, and as you touch his shoulder, he flinches. Let's try not to stir up any more trouble, okay? His eyes dart around, but eventually Ryan walks away without a word. The group disperses, awkwardly trying to guard their own secrets, and you're left alone with Milo. Well, why did you come to save me? Well, I couldn't let my boyfriend be trampled on, now could I? Even if he's been avoiding me for a while. He freezes at your words, but you pet his head and reassure him. You know, I was really worried that I'd done something wrong. And I really missed you. The fact that my muffin wouldn't even glance at me made my heart sink. Desmond told me to avoid you for a while. But I shouldn't have trusted him. I didn't know. Shh, it's okay, my muffin. I forgive you. People out there may have always betrayed you, but I will always come to save you, and you'll do the same, right? You're the only person I can trust. Yeah, from now on, I'll only trust you. You smile at his remark. We're back on track. Desmond was meeting up with you at the split paths. Look, I brought Ryan like you told me to, so we're even now, right? You pull up your phone and delete the picture in front of him. There, all gone. Desmond looks relieved at the picture gone. Thank goodness, if I have found out. He really is naive, as if you didn't have a bunch of backups. Luckily, you made it just in time. You won't let Milo escape. You really are horrible, you know. Everyone's going to find out about how horrible... Oh, are you sure about that? This secret was only the tip of the iceberg, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Besides, I did you a favor. It's better not to make your girlfriend into your ex, right? I know the history you had in high school. Desmond seems to panic at the thought of it being exposed. I don't understand why you're doing all of this. Manipulating him into depending on you to this degree? Why? Why would you do that?
Everyone has a love they want, right? Some people are willing to settle with less, but I'm not that kind of person. That's all there is to it. Let's not try to do that again, Desmond. Believe me, I'll make your life a living nightmare if you pull something like that again.
I'm scaring myself. Ugh.
Before he can ask anything else, you walk away from him, satisfied. What has Milo gotten himself into? For a while, it seemed as if everything had died down. The drama that occurred that day circulated for a bit, but it was quickly shut down. After all, how could kind, charismatic Milo ever do such a thing? Similarly, Desmond disappeared for a bit.
Oh no.
Perhaps he was afraid of what happened. Perhaps he was afraid of you. Ryan had to, after his public scolding, hid away from the public eye. Ever since, Milo would never hesitate to praise you, to defend you, because to him, you were his everything. You had saved him once again. And so, days went on as normal. Schoolwork, fun activities, some dates. Well, at least until one of the big projects for your class. It seems Ryan has appeared again, and he's my partner for the big project. Milo fiddles with his earring a bit. While outwardly he looks uninterested, you can tell he's thinking deeply about something.
Well, it's too bad that we can't get any dirt on him,
I'm sure I could find something that could destroy him for good. He smiles sideways, his eyes deep with vengeance.
I mean, it seems like you know what to say to make him stutter.
Sure I do, but it won't stop him from coming after you for that long. And I like to have some surprises up my sleeve as well. That's a bit boring, my muffin. As much as I'd love to destroy him in that way, my muffin, I would like to actually pass the class, and this project is a huge part of my grade. So let's hold off on it for now, all right? Milo makes a slight tisk sound with his mouth. But that's no fun, my muffin. Can't we rattle him up just a bit? If I can't get this project done well, then I won't be staying in this university anymore. Ah, Ryan's such a buzzkill. I was really hoping to discard what's left of that ego of his. I know you'd like to see him crumble, too. Of course, I would love nothing more than to watch him writhe. However, we're supposed to be meeting up in Cafe 15 to talk about what we're going to do. And I'd like you to come with, just in case. Well, who knows if you'll pull something. He grins a little too wide, a little too happy at the situation. We are destined to be together. Isn't that right, Espoir? You don't have a choice but to love me. The response sends shivers down your spine.
Same.
You've trained him a little too well. As we walked in, we see Ryan sitting at one of the booths. His face twists from content to annoyance when he sees that Milo has entered with you. Strange, he's not in our group, is he? Milo and I are a package deal. Or are you jealous that you've suddenly become the third wheel? Ryan looks as if he's going to cause a scene, but Milo leans back casually. He strokes your hair and looks at him, tauntingly. Were you going to do something to my lovely Espoir? Ryan grits his teeth and sits back. Whatever. Let's just hurry up and get this project finished. For the next couple of hours, you and Ryan planned out your project. The two of you ordered some food and drinks, seemingly chatting nonchalantly about what to do. But underneath it all, it felt like you were pointing knives at each other's throats. Well, it's not as if this wasn't a world we weren't used to, battling with words. Milo would scroll through his phone nonchalantly as we talked with each other. But it felt as if part of him was always watching. As if finding a perfect moment of weakness. Scribbling down Ryan's ramblings, your spoon slipped and fell onto the ground. I'll get it for you, my muffin. Your spoon, my wonderful girlfriend. He looks at Ryan and smirks condescendingly. Ugh, this lovey-dovey crap makes me want to barf. His hand taps on the table a bit before looking at his phone. His eyes dart around for a second before standing. Well, I got a jet. See you losers later. Grabbing his backpack, he leaves the two of us alone. Finally. You chug down the glass of water after he leaves and slam it on the table. Sure hope this wasn't drugged or anything. Somehow it tastes bitter, like your disgust for him. He didn't even pay his portion of the bill. That lowlife. I'm tracking him right now. He's not that far. In fact, we might get some more money out of him with these pictures I found. Fun, but let's save that for later. You might find out you've been tracking him, and you might turn off his location. Sighing, you fork over the money, and you and Milo head back. Let's walk back to the dorms. I have to get some stuff before the next class. Milo smiles and holds your hand as you walk. But as you walk, something doesn't feel right. You start to falter, your legs feeling weak and... My muffin? Everything goes dark. You wake up, staring at the ceiling of your dorm, lying on the bed. Milo is stroking your hair gently as you sleep. My muffin, you'll be okay, right? You look so peaceful sleeping. I wish I could look at you for an eternity. You touch his hair, and he looks at you, his eyes wide with shock. He hugs you suddenly, clinging on to you. You're okay. Oh, his little cat sounds. His arms tighten as if afraid to let you go. My muffin, what happened? You passed out suddenly after we left the cafe. Ah, did I now? That totally wasn't planned. You recall Ryan tapping his fingers against the table. His eyes were darting at the glass. Oh, I see what happened. That snake really has it out for me, huh? Wow, how totally unexpected. I knew he was up to something. He grits his teeth, and I can hear them grind against each other. Now, my muffin, you'll hurt yourself that way. You caress his head, and he leans into your hand. Cute. It seems that Ryan must have drugged me. Must have been the water. Dropping my spoon was the perfect opportunity for him to do so. How oddly clever for him. It should have been me. I should have been the one who was drugged. He clenches onto the bedsheets, and his grip causes him to shake. Disgusting. He really doesn't know how to leave it alone, huh? Well, he should be given a taste of his own medicine. You tap your forehead as you think, what would make Ryan suffer more? Dragging him back would be ample payback. You do have access to the chemistry lab. Watching Ryan shudder as his body collapses on himself as he did to you would be entertaining. Or maybe he might have other secrets he's hiding. He might see it coming if we attempt to drug him back. Perhaps Milo's past of stalking might be a benefit to us all.
Oh wait, did he was that true? Was that actually true?
Choices. Milo looks at you eagerly as you make your decision. The best way to get payback.
Alright, let's start with drugging him back.
Wouldn't it be fun to give him a taste of his own medicine? Drugging him? My, that does sound fun. Think of all the applications I could use it for. Playing with your strengths is always a good thing, my muffin. Won't it be fun to learn about such things on our little study date? Oh, are you asking me out so soon? He teases you, but you can see that he's giddy about the idea. Well then, shall we have fun on our date? Let's get going. Since when did you have access to this lab? Since a very kind professor saw my interest and decided to give me access. Ah, so you took it off of someone then. Ah.
He knew. He found that out already.
I can't pull the wool over your eyes then, huh? Are you disappointed in me, Milo? He takes your hand and kisses up your arm. How could I ever be disappointed in you, my muffin? You are the one who saved me from Ryan. So now, I'll be the one who'll save you. No matter what. Waltzing into the lab, the beakers and other glass tubes stood, watching us. You think back at what it felt like when you were drugged. Dizziness, a bit of drowsiness. The way he did it so fast, and the fact that you couldn't see it in the water. Ah, looks like that bastard learned from before and actually made the proper dosage of GHB. He's done this before?
He has?
Ah, you're right. You weren't here last year. There were a couple of deaths due to overdosing on drugs.
Oh, is that the prank?
A lot of students were thrown into jail, but there were rumors that Ryan was the one behind it all. You could still recall Ryan's face when he got accused. It wasn't the face of someone that was innocent. Milo laughs sharply, interrupting your train of thought. Then he's really getting what he deserves then, huh? I can't wait. Don't be so hasty. I wouldn't want you to get hurt, my muffin. You hand him over some safety goggles, and he puts them on. Do I look good? Very.
Oh, he looks precious.
He giggles, happy with the compliment. Now, shall we start? GHB is probably the most common one. We have the ingredients already. Luckily, you had experience with it before and knew what to do. With the materials here, it seemed that it would be rather easy to make. Ah, I've also always wanted to make chloroform as well, though it might not be that good in this situation. I suppose it would be different than in the movies. You might as well suffocate them with how long that would take. Unfortunately, I still need him alive for the project. Maybe next time then. His voice sounded like he was joking, but his eyes told a different story. Maybe for fun, I'll show you how to make it in a bit. You sure have very varied interest. Oh, is that some hesitation I hear, my muffin? It was a joke. You know that I only have admiration for you. Just thinking of Ryan's face after he's realized what he's done is so... He drools hungrily. Tantalizing. You stretch out, prepared to teach Milo the ropes. Shall we? For a couple of days, you and Milo would sneak inside of the labs. You had to be careful to clean up afterwards, but considering how secluded this lab was, nobody ever came in. How surprising. I guess since we're almost done, he wants to celebrate early. I'll be a bit more careful this time, and you hold out some white powder to show Milo. Get a bit of vengeance too then, Well, Milo, are you coming with? I'll need backup in case something goes wrong while we're talking. Actually, if you don't mind, may I do the honors? You tilt your head inquisitively. He wants to talk to Ryan? What a surprise. Are you sure, my muffin? It would be terrible if a repeat of last time happened. I'd rather you not get hurt. I won't let him get the best of me this time. I promise you, my muffin.
Muffin.
You see his eyes filled with determination. You can't seem to say no to it. All right, Milo, as you wish. We arrived at the bar that Ryan had invited us.
Hey, it's... His fake smile dropped as he saw that Milo had joined you. You two.
You looked at him condescendingly. Sorry, did you not think I would bring him?
I thought it would just be us two, 'cause we actually worked on the project.
Ah, well, sorry about that.
You smiled in a fake manner, and he glares at Milo. Milo doesn't even look at him as he scrolls through his phone. Ryan glares at him and turns to you. Ryan droops down closer to you and whispers, Espoir, don't you think this is too much? I mean, all this for him?
I'm not sure I like what you're trying to say, Ryan.
Ryan looks up suddenly to hear Milo laughing while looking on his phone. Never mind. When have you ever listened to me anyways? It'll end up badly,
Thanks for the warning. But I know what I'm doing.
He turns to the bartender to call out for our drinks. To us, and another year of our professors torturing us. He puts the glass to his lips. But before Ryan could drink, Milo slung his arm over his shoulder. What are you doing? This? Oh, this. I just wanted to thank you so much for helping my girlfriend with this project. After all, you really saved her grade, and I can't thank you enough. Despite how friendly his words seemed, there was an aftertaste of malice. Though it seems like Ryan didn't pick up on it. Oh, that? Psh, it was nothing. Though that's not the reaction I was expecting. You planning something? Milo makes a quick expression of anger, before snapping back to his cheerful facade. What are you talking about? Do I look like the type to hold grudges? I mean, I can't be mad at a Galaxy Wars fan. That's supposed to be like Star Wars. What? You watch that too? Of course. What person wouldn't? In fact, there was a new preview earlier today. Really? Show me. Milo pulls up the preview and lets Ryan watch it on his phone, and uses the other hand to slip something into his drink. That's a lot more sneakier than I did. I just did it right in front of him. He winks at you mischievously before stirring it slightly as the preview ends. These previews are too short. Unfortunate, right? Guess we have to wait for the next one. But I shouldn't be interrupting your time together, so I'll just sit way over there, watching. He smiles as he walks away, but it leaves shivers down Ryan's spine. He looks at the drink, and hesitantly looks at you.
What's the matter, Ryan? Let's drink to our success.
Right. He looks at it again, then closes his eyes and chugs it. He taps the glass on the table and walks off. Oh, where are you going, friend? I have class. Really? What was it that you used to say? That going to class is a waste of time? To say it nicely, that is. Why don't you just stay? His eyes flash a dangerous expression, and Ryan looks towards you.
Milo, let's let him go.
Just seeing his ugly face is enough to make me puke. You cling onto Milo's arm, and his face changes to an expression of adoration. Plus, if we leave now, then we can spend more time together, right? You trace your finger on his chest, and as Milo's eyes are fixed in worship on you, Ryan slips out the back. My muffin, why didn't you just say so? Where did that rat Ryan go? Still focusing on him instead of me?
He looks back at you, gleeful. No, of course not. You're my entire world. My everything.
Oh, he's so sweaty.
Then you shouldn't even so much as think about another person. Understand? Come on now, Milo. Let me buy you a drink. You did such a good job. Dragging his attention away from Ryan, you meet Milo's gaze. You just wanted him to look at you. And only you.
His little purr sounds.
And so, college life went as normal. Whenever you saw Ryan, he would hurriedly walk towards the opposite direction. And Milo, he started to invite you out for drinks more often. He said that he wanted to get to know you more. But you knew that wasn't the truth. Every now and then you would see him putting something in your drink. It was cute, thinking that he could hide it from you. Really, it was. It made you proud that he had taken your lessons to heart. So you drank it nevertheless. The kind of glee he had whenever you did was entertaining, and you slowly felt weaker. Milo would feign ignorance, asking if you were okay. You must be studying too much. Let me take care of you. And you'd be brought over to his dorm for him to nurse you. Slowly, he started to take care of other things, like your meals, your things. You weren't allowed to do certain things. Milo would simply get anything you wanted. Hand and knee, anything you wanted or needed. Comforting, yet restricting. A cat playing with its prey. It really is fun being the mouse, isn't it? It was at least an entertaining game to you. At least it is to you. That's why you created this game. Perfect. And so, for a while, nothing else out of the blue went on. It was always just you and Milo. Milo's smooth charade never seemed to dim. He smothered you with love. Almost too much so. Your body seemed to have regained its strength again. How annoying. It seems regardless of what you do, he would never push onwards himself. Despite him simply blowing air about how much he wanted you, it just wasn't enough. Isn't it time to take action then? To finally make him what you wanted him to be? Just one final push. He was walking around campus, waving to people as he passed by. He kept looking at you, smiling. Do you want to say something, my muffin? Milo stopped for a second and cocked his head. How could I live without you, my muffin? You've made me into something completely different. I'm so happy. Not only do people finally notice me, but they don't treat me like some gum that they found on their shoe. He hugs you suddenly, shaking. Oh, how could I ever part from you? If you were to leave. He looks at you again. I'll make sure I'm the only one you will ever see. There's no way we would part, right? You breathed out slowly as you heard his words.
Yeah, but Milo, what if we broke up? What if we broke up?
Why? Why? I did everything right. I wanted to be together. My muffin, did I do wrong? Did I make you angry? Or was I too clingy? Whatever it is, I'll fix it. I'll do anything. I'll change the way I look, the way I act. Did you prefer the pathetic me? I could go back to that. No, did I not take care of you enough? I get it. All the things I did, I should have practiced more. I understand. How could such filth like me properly compare to someone like you? Milo. I can't go back to what it was. If you leave, they'll just hurt me again. Living every day as if the next didn't matter, wondering why I even bothered to live. No, I can't. Please, please.
Milo! I'll spray you with some water. I'll spritz you.
Your own snap caused Milo to flinch. It was the first time you had ever raised your voice at him. I don't want to leave you. I want to be with you until death do us part. But time is not kind to us. We could drift apart or fight. No, we won't. Then what about those around us? Do you think they won't try to tear us apart? You leaned closer to him, next to his ear. My muffin, it's the world around us that wants to take us apart.
Okay, so this is the path where we went to the party, we chose to drug Ryan, so what would be to get rid of them?
Destroy them all. When they're all gone, then I will be yours. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. You weren't sure, but it felt like a haunting red. Ready to pick them off one by one. Milo, you understand what I mean, right? I'm sure if it ever comes to that, you'll know what to do. Of course, my muffin, it's all so clear now. The only way to save you is to get rid of all those that oppose us. I wonder what would be easier. Dragging the cafeteria food or just the water supply? You can't help but smile happily at the results. This next part will be fun.
Seriously, Espoir, haven't you done enough already? All this training for Milo. Getting me to bully Milo so you could swoop in? Do you think you're some kind of savior or something? You taught him how to drug me, trying to befriend me so I wouldn't notice. I don't want to think about what happened the next day. Just leave me alone. I did everything that you asked, right?
You struggled to move with his weight on you. He took the USB with ease.
Finally!
Before he could celebrate any longer, though, Milo had grabbed his wrist. With a cold smile, he asked a simple question.
Finally what, Ryan?
Ryan went pale, seeing Milo's smiling face loom over him.
It's nothing, Milo. Nothing at all.
He croaked out an unconvincing lie. Then, if that's the case... Milo leaned in, only inches away from Ryan's face.
I would appreciate it if you never talked to my girlfriend again.
Milo lets go of his wrist, and as he shakes, Ryan runs away without turning back. He turns to you next.
My muffin, what were you two talking about?
He said it with a slight smile, but there was a coldness to it. It seems he wanted to take me back, to use me as some sort of toy again. But no matter how much I said no, he refused to let go. Thank goodness you showed up. All lies, of course, but Milo ate it up as if it were the words of his god. He smiled, eyes widened with an unsettling grin.
I see.
Then, I'm glad I was able to save you then, my muffin. Please don't worry. I'll make sure that something like this will never happen again. A quiet declaration, with red burning in his eyes. Ever since Ryan ran away, Milo seemed to have been engrossed in a new hobby. As much as you tried to find out what he was doing, it seemed he was very secretive about it.
Are you trying to find out what your present is going to be?
It's a surprise for a reason. he would say in a sing-song manner, happy to see that you were so interested. He kept his gift under wraps, always checking his phone, as if he were watching and waiting for something. Humming happily as he continued scrolling through his phone. He would always talk about how excited he was to gift it to you, how much you would love it. Until finally, he was finished. As a surprise, he blindfolded you and brought you somewhere secret. I'm so excited! I hope you like all of my hard work. Unveiling your eyes to behold, you stood in awe at what you saw. Oh dear. For a second, you thought that there was a person sitting in the chair in front of you. But as you leant in closer, you saw what it really was. Oh, a giant, jointed doll, an exact replicate of Ryan.
Did you taxidermy him? That's impressive!
The skin, the eyes, the clothes, they all looked exactly like him. Milo, this is amazing! How did you manage to make him look so convincing? Oh, I just had some very good references, let's say. He smiled happily, proud at the praise you had given him. You inspected the doll closer. It was so lifelike. How did he... Ah, you realized immediately.
The eyes were moving. What? Hot diggity dog.
The pupils dilating and expanding as if you were trying to communicate. The face seemed wet as if it were crying. Milo leaned closer to you. Ah, I'm sorry though, my muffin. I actually ended up selling this one to a collector. I hope you're not too mad. You looked back at him and gave him a smile. No, of course not, my muffin. How could I be mad at you? As an apology, I'll make as many dolls as you'd like. Any friend, foe, classmate, professor? I can make anyone into a doll for you. Anyone you want. Oh, how generous. You know, I was just thinking. I'd like to have a nice doll of Desmond.
Aww, oh no.
Don't you think it would be a nice gift for his girlfriend? I think she would. Be thrilled at that kind of surprise. If that's what you wish. Who am I to deny my muffin? You stared into his eyes. What a beautiful masterpiece you had made. A perfect doll maker, just for you. Any person could become your doll, to break or to destroy. To make them cry of joy or fear. How delightful! Your hard work had spawned something so wonderful. Now you have your one and only perfect love. A doll's love.
That's... You know what? I'm gonna put that up there as, like, the most messed up thing a yandere has done to a love interest. Turned that dude into a doll. That's... Whew, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff, but that's crazy. That wins an award. I'm starting to notice a pattern that, to get rid of them usually is a bad time for somebody else, but to protect me is usually a bad time for me. So, what bad time awaits me if our little kitty cat Milo, wants to do that?
Just make sure I can't be taken away.
No way that's gonna backfire.
And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. It felt as if you would simply freeze in place looking at him. As if he wanted to do everything to please you. I think you know what I'm talking about, right, Milo? Sometimes those kinds of things simply can't be helped. Ah, you have always been the only one for me. I was foolish to think otherwise. I wonder if there's a way I can make you never forget me. So that I'm always imprinted on your mind. You nearly laughed at the results that you had produced. You couldn't wait until he broke. In his excitement, Ryan fumbles with the USB, dropping it on the ground. He scrambled to get it, only for him to be by the feet of Milo. Ryan tried to grab the USB, only for Milo to step on it. Hello there, Ryan. What do you think you're doing? Milo, I was just getting something from Espoir. It's nothing big, really. I just... Silly Ryan. That's not what I'm asking. Let me rephrase it for you. Why are you near my muffin? Why are you even talking to my girlfriend? Get away from her! The utter disdain in Milo's eyes made Ryan shrink away. Look, I won't bother her again, okay? I swear. I was just about to leave. You won't see me anymore. Oh, I know, Ryan. Because if you don't... His eyes were cold, as if he was shooting daggers into Ryan. And then he smiled. I'll make sure that the hospital is your new permanent home. Telling someone you're going to make them take up permanent residence in a hospital is a pretty sick threat. With that, Milo lifted his foot, and Ryan scrambled away. You looked at Ryan as he ran away, and then back at Milo. Thank you, my muffin. Will you leave me, like you left him? The question caught you off guard, and you were stunned into silence. Milo, what do you... No, you wouldn't. I'll find a way to be together. Forever. Oh. You couldn't put another word in as he walked away from you. A cold shiver went down your spine as he had looked at you. It felt as if something bad was about to happen. Something that you couldn't take back. You woke up, groggily, as if you had been sleeping for ages. As the fog in your mind cleared, you realized that you were seated on a couch. Did Milo drug you last night? It was hard to remember. There was a strange ache in your left eye, like someone had tried to scoop it out. Oh! You tried to move your hand towards it, to feel what was going on, but you realized, try as you might, you couldn't move your limbs. You could only awkwardly bob your head side to side. I wouldn't try to move my muffin. We're still in the middle of getting married, you know. Married? Married? Shyly, Milo tapped the ring on your left hand, with the ring matching his. Aw! Do you need me to be tied down for this, Milo? They say that this finger is connected to the human heart, and that if you betray someone in love, you'd have to cut it off. I thought that idea was so romantic, so I decided that we should have something from each other to seal the deal. You look up at Milo slowly, and your eyes look straight back at you. Oh, that's clever. That's really clever. You only have eyes for each other. That's very clever. I wasn't sure if I did it correctly, but look, we're matching now, aren't we? His face flushed. The eyes started to cry with tears leaking out. An eye for an eye. It was strangely beautiful in a way. But I'm not quite done yet. I have one more thing before we're officially married. A metal stick with a symbol of an eye on it, colored in hot red. Are you going to brand me? You know, we could just get tattoos. That's a lot less
costly. Actually, no, it probably would. It probably would be more cost-effective to just brand someone, so just brand away, I guess. With this, we really will be together. Forever. Oh. Before you could protest, he pressed the iron straight onto your bare chest. You let out a scream of agony as the metal burned into your skin. Your eye, Milo's eye, both started tearing up. In reflexive pain, you bashed your head into Milo's nose, causing him to stumble backwards. Gasping, you felt the steam rising from your chest as the markings settled onto your skin. And then, you heard laughing. A hysterical, gleeful laugh. Trying to ignore the pain, you craned your neck upwards to see Milo, blushing profusely in ecstasy as his nose bleed from your previous headbutt. Ah, that hurts so much, being hurt by my muffin. He wiped the blood from his nose, all while pressing down, with his painful squirming sounding joyful. You felt the paralysis in your arms wearing off, and you touched your chest, circling the newly scorched branding. Ah, we're so close to being bound together. He placed the branding iron onto your hands, and you started to pull off his shirt. I can't wait. I'll be marked just like you soon. He guided your hand to push the hot rod against his skin, and pushing it into him, the tears from his eyes started to run down quickly. He was drooling, enjoying the pain a little too much. You pulled it away, leaving a deep mark on his chest, mirroring yours. Now, even if you ran away, even if you were taken from me, we are marked as one. You cupped his face as he spoke, drying his tears with your fingers. You finally understand, don't you? The kind of love I was striving for. This is it. You understand, right? Ah, to be twisted into one, a cruel love to most, but to you, it was finally the perfect love you wanted. Married love, and you know, when I read that in the unlocked thing, that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I was expecting. Alright, going all the way back, should we drug Ryan or should we stalk him? We haven't tried stalking him as a kitty cat Milo, so he would catch us too easily. Stalking is the way to go. Stalking him? Well, stalking is more of something I did in my past. And isn't that perfect, my muffin? You already have experience. His little purring. This time, it's for a different purpose, though, and quite a noble one. Won't it be great to get some vengeance for me? He beams, happy that he's being useful. Of course, my muffin. I won't fail you. He smiles with an unsettling look in his eyes. Are we stalking him in person? I've already been following him everywhere online. Turns out he's quite infamous. Makes me wonder how he dates at all. Is that a jab on me? Of course not, my muffin. He must have begged you to date him. I can't accept it in any other way. His eyes flash a dangerous expression before settling back to his generally happy facade. I hope you haven't been keeping tabs on me as well. Well, if you had, it's not as if I would mind. He laughs a bit, if only dryly. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Who's to say? He's so much better at hiding his true intentions now. You are pleased at the result of this notion. But we have to be a bit more hidden, so I got these. You pulled out some matching hats that you had gotten. I think you would look good in them. Aw, a gift for me? My muffin, I'm so happy. He tries to play it cool, but you can see that his cheeks have reddened quite a bit.
It was hard finding something nice for you to hide in. After all, you look good in everything. For a moment, he seems caught off guard, his eyes widening a bit, before immediately going back to his normal smile. Aww. I like how he gets a new prop in each ending. That's so cute. That's such a great detail. There's so much great detail in this game, my goodness. He puts on the hat and happily looks at you. If that's the case, I don't mind you choosing all my clothes. I want to become everything that you want me to be. No, you don't, Milo. Anything that will make you happy. His breathing seemed to be hitched, as if he was imagining being adorned by you. Oh, how sweet. Maybe after we're finished. So then, how about we enact some revenge? It's what I've been waiting for. I can't wait. Good. Let's get started. For a while, we followed Ryan around, secretly and with gentle steps. Enough that he would never know it was us. But obvious enough to know that someone was watching him. At first, it wasn't anything. Harmless, in fact. We watched him, but never did anything to him. But Milo had other plans. Online, he talked about his experience of Ryan bullying him and how it affected him. And it spread like wildfire. The amount of videos and comments defending poor innocent Milo and antagonizing brutish, awful Ryan. Milo really knew how to play a crowd, it seemed. But it wasn't just that. Milo would call him over and over again, taunting him, threatening him, in a soft manner, but nonetheless terrifying. Ryan, do you remember when you threw a brick at my head and I had a concussion for a week? Do you think I could do something similar to you? I have a rock that I think would fit perfectly in your head. I hope you're not thinking of leaving your dorm today to hang out with your friends. It would be terrible if someone burnt up your new couch while you were gone. Maybe it would be better if you simply died and were reborn as another person. I'm sure the world would be happier for it. Milo's words were simply the drops of water that caused the ripples. Soon, there were others that tried to threaten him through text, calls, anything. They have weaponized cancel culture. He made others do the dirty work for him. How clever. Sadly, it made it hard for you two to do your projects together. In fact, it almost seemed as if you were the last of his more positive interactions. Ryan, are you doing all right? I heard that Milo posted a pretty darning video. Well, not that you were all that kind to him before.
I wanted to stop. No one will look at me anymore. No matter how much I block or change my number, they always find me. How long? How long do I have to live like this? I don't.
He was practically on the verge of crying, the way he shook when he was talking.
Please, just make Milo stop. Anything. I'll do anything.
Anything? Anything at all? The thought of it makes you smile. All right, Milo has been out of control lately. I can't promise that I can make it go away completely, but I will try to. You have my word. Upon hearing this, his shaking finally stopped.
Please. Please.
Let's do well in our project together, all right? Milo, as it seemed, never took his eyes off of you either. It seemed that he would always bump into you at random times and act as if it were a coincidence. Even when you went to places you would normally never go, he would always find himself there. He always knew where you were, always followed you. Even in the dorms, you started to notice that things were a bit off. Items were slightly shifted in ways you didn't remember. Things that you had for a long time suddenly looked newer, as if someone were replacing them
one by one. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, that's terrifying.
Perhaps you were being paranoid, but you were losing things, and quite quickly at that. If you were a bit more oblivious, you could have convinced yourself you were just being clumsy. You always asked Milo if he knew where you'd left things, and he would laugh and hand you an exact copy. He always seemed to have exactly what you needed.
Are you developing clairvoyance, Milo?
Ah, did you lose your textbook? You're so clumsy. It's cute. Here, I bought you another one. Oh dear, did you find your stuffed animal ripped? I did hear that sometimes there are rats in the walls. Luckily, I bought you another one. Aren't I the best boyfriend? Silly, you dropped your pencil case when you came over yesterday. I brought it just in case. Just like that, you were being watched, constantly. You had pressed into your favorite stuffed animal's eye one day to find a camera, and split it open to find a recorder.
Oh.
You smiled a bit. He really was getting better at this. You dozed off every night with the thought of Milo watching you, that he was always there. But there was one more thing that you wanted to check. He had invited you to his dorm to hang out for a bit. Milo, could you tell me where the bathroom is? Of course, down the hall. As you left, you snuck into his room to dig through his backpack. Pictures. Photos of you in your dorm, out in your class, and from inside of your pencil case.
Wow.
Items from things that he had made an exact duplicate of, that he was sure you would never notice.
Put a camera in my textbook?
Notes of locations of where you had gone and where to meet up, or places he had convinced you to go to. And of course a recording device, playing your voice over and over again. The thought of such an obsession made you happy beyond belief. There was only ever you in his heart, his eyes, his soul. Soon, you thought, he would be the perfect love for you. It took a while to convince Milo to cease his actions. Even when he promised to do so, you would see him go behind your back to continue. I see, Milo, you do want me to fail then. You want me to move schools so that we're forced to separate. Is that what you're telling me?
But I'm not doing anything wrong.
It's just karma at this point. And besides, I can't stop the public from attacking him. That's true, but it makes me lonely, you know? All this time, where you constantly call and text Ryan, all those people that keep coming up to you, talking with you for hours? Strange. It's almost like you've become obsessed with Ryan instead of me. You could see that this struck a nerve with him. Good. My muffin, you are my world. How could I live without you? I want to see you every second that I'm alive. And everyone else is just in the way. He bites his fingers nervously, as if he realized what he had done. To be by your side, to always be with you. I'll stop. And so, with that, Ryan was safe, for now. Milo started to swerve away from people that tried to talk to him, ignoring them in favor of you. Slowly, it seemed the public got bored of harassing Ryan. And in turn, Milo was always there, watching you. More things would be taken and replaced. You could feel his eyes watching throughout your dorm. Peaceful, you thought. And so far, for a while, Nothing else out of the blue went on. It was always just you and Milo. Things, of course, would disappear and reappear at random for you. You were sure Milo was replacing things so he could keep them. You even had found more cameras in nooks and crannies of your dorm. And you had found that he had even installed some sort of stalker shrine somewhere in his dorm as well. I mean, we're already dating, Milo. You don't need to do this. Filled with pictures of you, recordings of you, items of value, items found in the trash, a doll. All of his attention on you. Yet, despite all of this, nothing seemed to change. He would watch over you, never turning his eyes, but you wanted more. Just one final push. Whatever it is, I'll fix it. I'll do anything. I'll change the way I look, the way I act. Did you prefer the pathetic me? I could go back to that. It's okay. I know your type. I've been paying attention. And I haven't been talking to anyone else. My eyes, my soul, my essence itself, it's all yours. Milo. I can't go back to what it was. If you leave, they'll just hurt me again. Living every day as if the next didn't matter, wondering why I even bothered to live. Well, maybe there is a way. Milo's eyes lit up. He leaned closer to you. What? What is it? Whatever it is. I refuse to let them take us. You cocked your head slightly. The final push. The only way for us to stay together forever is...
Oh boy. So we already know that to protect me is a bad time for me, and to protect them is a bad time for them. So what will be the bad time for them?
When they're all gone. Then I will be yours. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. The only way to save you is to get rid of all those that oppose us. It's so easy. I can learn everything about them and get rid of them without even a second glance. You can't help but smile happily at the results. My entire internet presence was ruined. The kind of hate mail I got. Telling me to end myself, trudging up all my old pictures? Just leave me alone. I did everything you asked, right? You smiled slightly, and he snapped at you. You struggled to move with his weight on you. He took the USB with ease. Finally! But Ryan's victory didn't last for long. Milo showed up next to him, his eyes glazed over. He tore the USB away from him without breaking eye contact. Why are you here, Ryan? Don't you know that you're interfering with my girlfriend? If I were you, I would run before I get angry. Milo's eyes were on fire, and he seemed to flinch as if from the heat. Without another word, Ryan leaves.
He can just intimidate him with a look now. He doesn't need a bat.
When Milo looks at you, you can feel your body burn. It feels as if someone is shoving your head closer and closer to a fire. The only thing left is your reflection flickering in his eyes. And then he smiles. Don't worry, my muffin. I'll make sure that he and the others, that nothing will take us apart. You hear him, surely, but... all you can see is the red in his eyes. Milo was acting strange nowadays, and not in the way you wanted. He was talking, socializing with the enemy, Somehow, somewhere, he had befriended Ryan, and the two became inseparable.
Oh, this isn't gonna end well.
Even worse than that, every person who you had hated, despised, even found annoying, he seemed to have gotten in contact with them as well. And with his silver tongue, gotten them to join the same courses as you. You should have been enraged, angered. You should have torn him apart. But the way that he talked, the way that he would look at you, the way his eyes shone a rageful, hateful red,
He's just playing them all like fools.
as if he was looking at insects that needed to be squashed. Something about his bloodlust was. Maybe you trust in what he was planning.
What are you cooking? What are you cooking, Milo?
Perhaps you just needed to suck it up. At least until you could gut Milo personally. You just had to find your hunting knife and
What? What? Wait, what?
well, look who it is. Easier said than done, you thought. He kicked the side of your leg roughly, and you fell over to the ground with a loud thud.
Oh! And here I was just thinking about my hunting knife.
Still a weakling who doesn't know their place, huh? From what?
Ah, you didn't let me finish! Let me finish insulting you!
This time, a kick to your chest, leaving you kneeling on the floor, gasping for air.
You should be grateful I haven't gutted you yet.
Thank Milo. He's the one begging at my feet to make you happy. Milo? Begging? That can't be right. The only one he should be begging for is you. Ryan smirked before walking away from your state on the floor. You told Milo about the encounter that day, and yet he said nothing. Just wait until exam day, Milo had told you with a hum. Fine. If Milo doesn't get his act together by then, you didn't need an imperfect love. He won't wake up to see the birds the next morning. You would make sure of it.
Oh no! Hopefully this doesn't end in a misunderstanding.
Soon after, the day of the exam came. Milo came up to you, smiling happily. And what are you so happy for, Milo? My gift to you is finally done. Is that so? He was ticking you off. You slammed your hands against the wall, pinning him down. What are you... Milo, do you know the heck I had to go through this semester because of you? To watch as Ryan harassed me every day? How pitiful it was to see you kneel before the man I saved you from. To see you ignore me time and time again, to hang out with him and other insects. If you hated me so much, you should have just said so. Milo stood there in shock, his breath hitched in his throat. His eyes were filled with that burning hatred again. Before he smiled with a forced grin. It's all right, my muffin. I promise that we will never have to talk to him again, after today. It'll be something that you never forget. I promise.
What are you cooking, Milo?
You walked back from the wall and turned away from him. You'd better hope so. If you're lying, it won't end well for you.
What are you cooking?
You walked into the lecture hall, placing your backpack on the floor as you sat down. I'm going to text you right before the exam. Please follow my instructions for the gift. He had whispered to you before you had walked into the hall. You closed your eyes and imagined squeezing the eyes from his sockets as he bled out.
Yeah, Milo, I understand you have a grand master plan, but this is going a bit far.
If this gift was even just a bit lackluster, that's the fate he would get. You waited and watched the other students file in, the worthless insects that Milo had gathered whispering and laughing. Annoying. You waited and waited, and soon the exam was about to start. Just as the professor was passing out the papers, you felt your phone buzz in your pocket. "Please leave class, my muffin." You scoffed. What a gift. "Leave now, please. I'm begging you." Why, there's nothing that can save him now.
Oh no.
"I need you." You stood up suddenly, the eyes of your classmates turning to you. "I'm sorry, I have to leave. Quick bathroom break," you said with a forced smile. Before anyone could say anything, you dashed into the hallway. As you stormed out, your shoulder brashly hit Ryan's. "Watch where you're—" His smile widened when he saw who had bumped into him. "Oh, what's this? Are you running away from your exam?" "I don't have time for this." You tried to brush past him, but he grabbed your arm. "Hey, don't you know it's rude not to apologize to someone you so rudely bumped into? Apologize."
Quit! Quit not letting me finish insulting you! Let me berate you!"
He socked you in the face, and you fell to the ground with a thud.
"Don't act so high and mighty. Apologize."
You spat in his face. He slammed your face against the wall, your ears ringing from the impact.
"Ow! I'm being brutalized in this ending."
Looks like your attitude hasn't changed yet, huh? Even after your new project crashed and burned. You just never learn, do you? You grit your teeth as the phone in your pocket buzzed rapidly. "I need you." "Sorry." "Oh, what was that?" You gnashed your teeth. "I said I'm sorry." Ryan gasped dramatically and laughed before kicking you to the ground and walking away, laughing. You breathed in slowly.
"Milo? When I catch you, Milo, this better be worth it, Milo! What are you cooking?"
Before walking out without a word. It took you a while, but you spotted Milo. "My muffin, I was so worried about you." Milo flinched when he saw your state, ragged and bruised.
"Milo!"
Milo trembled when he heard your voice, sharp as if impaling his heart. You stopped, then looked up at him, unblinking.
"When I catch you, Milo?"
"This is worth it, isn't it, Milo?" He grabbed your hands, clasping onto them tightly. "I was so worried you wouldn't come out in time."
"Yeah, you're gonna... Oh dear."
"It would be a horrible gift for my muffin if she didn't make it out in time." Before you could even take in a single breath, you felt the pressure. You felt it crush you like an aluminum can. The ringing in your ears wouldn't stop as you saw the shapes of bodies scrambling about. And then you heard the rest of the sound. Like something had struck the world with thunder.
"Oh?"
As you turned around, the building was burning and smoke was suffocating the air. You could almost feel the heat from here.
"I don't think we're standing far away enough, Milo."
Milo dragged you away with the crowd, the screaming finally able to settle in your ears. He put your hand on his face, nuzzling into your palm. Seeing an explosion is a lot more hair-raising in person. But it's so much more exhilarating than I thought. The smile on his face was too wide. Who knew Ryan was so dull-witted? Just a tiny spark can make your insides burn. It was quite an ordeal to get him to go back to smoking again. Even harder to properly run a gas leak. I wish I could have seen his face when he realized what he had done.
Now, I thought he might have just put an explosive somewhere or just carefully rigged something under all the desks, but no, what he did was way more thoughtful. And, oh boy, just when I think it's gonna be here, it's up to here. So you made Ryan trigger the explosion with his own cigarette. That's dastardly. I mean, I think the Joker said it's not you miss the punchline if they're dead, but...
He looked up at you as you caressed his face. Worry creased his features. Did you like it, my muffin? You stared at him vacantly. All of those people burning into an unforgiving heck. How could you do that? Milo's eyes widened. He was shaking, afraid of disappointment. But you smiled, just as wide as he did. Without letting me in on the fun. Yeah, I got bruised and battered. At least I could be laughing. You hugged him tightly as his face turned a dark red. What a wonderful gift. Milo relaxed for a second and hugged back. Just casual explosion in the background as we're hugging. It's all thanks to you. Isn't it amazing what you've turned me into? I couldn't be happier. Please praise me.
Aww.
He cooed playfully, nuzzling his face into your palm. You did well, my muffin. Better than I could have predicted.
I still think I got way too beaten up for this, Milo. I don't think that was worth it. Plus, don't I need to go to that school? Get my edumacation?
I wonder what we should do now. I'm sure there are some lucky survivors in the wreckage. Would it be better to snuff them out, or perhaps just watch the aftermath of it all, the glorious flames? You laughed. I'm sure either would be fun. What should we do, my muffin? He intertwined his hand with yours. I'm sure either would be a blast. You and I, there's nothing else I want more in this world. Wouldn't I throw away everything to be with you? Let's stay together for the rest of eternity. There's nothing I would have wanted more. The red in his eyes shone brighter than before. An unbearable insanity that consumed him. All thanks to you. There was nothing left for either of you, and you only had each other. Such a wonderfully delightful rush. Together, your love would burn, like the perfect love it was. A perfect, burning love. Okay. So I believe this should be the last ending. To protect me, what shenanigans are you gonna do to me? Then the solution is simple. Just to make sure I can't be taken away. Make it so I'm yours. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. You have always been the only one for me. I was foolish to think otherwise. Everything about you drives me crazy. I can't live without having you near me. It felt painful when you tried to stand up. It seems like Ryan may have bruised you while trying to get the USB. He didn't seem to care or even notice as he held the USB victoriously in his hand. He also didn't notice when Milo loomed before him. Ryan. Ryan flinched upon hearing Milo say his name. Hi, What are you? He looked over at you, his eyes open at the state you were in. What? What did you do, Ryan? What did you do? His loud voice caused everyone to halt to a freeze. It was rare that Milo would raise his voice at anyone, but the way he growled as tears streamed down his face
made you excited. How could you hurt my muffin? How could I let this happen? His breathing grew rapid as he started hyperventilating. I can't wait to watch you writhe as I break you. I know everything about you, how to make your life miserable until the end. I won't let you hurt her anymore. Trust me. His eyes, his piercing stare, were ice cold. Ryan, you might want to skip town. You might want to leave the planet. Ryan hesitated, not sure of what to do. This is the last you'll see of me. I promise. Without another word, Ryan scrambled away, leaving you and him alone.
Milo,
How could I let this happen? He was clutching your hand so hard, it started to hurt. You were the one that saved me, and I couldn't even save you from him. Someone as godly as you. His eyes were void of life, like someone had gripped his very soul and crushed it. I don't deserve to breathe the same air as you. I don't deserve to stand where you stand. His breathing finally calmed down, the erratic behavior fading from him. I should have known. I could never be perfect for you, Milo! Milo! Before you could say anything, he dashed off. Milo! You tried to go after him, but the pain caused you to stumble. This is a problem. All that work. With no other choice, you dragged yourself back to the dorm to rest. For a while, you didn't get to see Milo, but you knew he was always watching. Things of yours were still missing after all, the cameras still working inside of your dorm. And yet, it was quiet, and frankly, rather lonely without him. So you left him a note. Milo, I miss you. Soon the next day, there was another note on your table, along with what looked like a box of chocolates. I miss you too, my muffin. I wish I could tear out my heart to give it to you, but I'm not worthy. Whatever you want, whatever you need, I'll give them all happily to you. And so, the notes and gifts became commonplace for you two. Aww! He would leave gifts throughout the dorm, in your backpack and on your bed. Some items were romantic. Flowers, candies, even little cheesy plushes. But some were more disturbing. Pictures of you at your classes, notes with your name scribbled over and over again about how unworthy he was. What looked to be a necklace made from his hairs and teeth. Oh, okay. As the days went on, the gifts and notes became more erratic. Drawings of you and repeated messages in blood became more common. Milo, can't we go back to the cheesy plushies? He would give gifts of his saliva and tears, as well as his fingernails in a strange fashion mixed with yours. You never saw him, but you knew he was always watching. Whenever you were just about to buy something that you've just ran out of, you would find the item on your desk the next day. If someone was giving you trouble, you would find bits and pieces of their clothes, hair, and even teeth on your doorstep. Along with a note, lovingly stating that he had brought you gifts. You always felt him watching, the sounds of crawling within the walls. It felt comforting, knowing that nothing could touch you, that you had someone who worshipped you as if his life depended on it. But then again, how far could he go? You decided to test it one day, scribbling out a note in detail. Just like usual, it was gone the next day, replaced with a note and a heart drawn in blood. And then, for a few days, it was silent. The notes stopped coming. Your things stopped disappearing. At least until one day. You found a box inside of your house. There was a strange smell to it when you approached it. And when you opened the box, an amputated hand greeted you. Thing, is that you? With an eye necklace wrapped carefully around its fingers. Inside it, a note. Aha, just as you wanted. I got you just what you wanted, my muffin. I did a good job, didn't I? It's what you wanted, right? Please praise me. 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 I love you. 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 Over and over again. Aww! You looked up, smiling, and stared straight into the camera hidden in the walls. Oh, my muffin, you did so wonderfully. I love it so much. You could hear the heavy breathing within the walls as you praised him. You were worried at first that Milo would have left you, that all of your hard work would be undone, and yet you couldn't ask for a better circumstance. Oh, my muffin, you truly are my perfect love. A perfect love beyond the walls. He's living in the walls. He's in the gosh darn walls. Oh. Well, that looks like I've gotten all the endings.
But wait! There's more!
However, there's more. There's one more ending. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's the true ending. And thank you to the developer for making a walkthrough on how to get this last ending. So you gotta do all the other endings, and then make his nickname My Love. My Love. Oh, My Love? That's really cute. It always makes me so happy to hear when you give me a nickname. Wait, always? Oh no! Shenanigans! You shift your body slightly. Something was off. Oh no! Is this self-aware Milo? What do you mean? Always. I mean, Love is a nice nickname, right? To be your perfect love? You stand closer to him, inches away from his face. What you talk about, Milo? I have never told anyone about my desire for perfect love. Oh, so that red blinking up there is pretty ominous. Milo laughs nervously. Oh, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. To be honest, you weren't the type to get scared all that easily. Horror movies, true crime, even possibly watching someone die beneath you was something you found quite dull. But something about this made your blood run cold. Oh, you were met with eyes floating, attached, on to Milo, or are all the Milos converging? They were looking around, watching, staring at you. He seemed to have a hard time focusing on you. Or what you presumed that was what he was doing. Biblically accurate Milo! Whatever he was, it felt unstable. You felt like something was touching under your skin. Grabbing your neck, arms, everything around it. Somehow you knew, if you even moved an inch, you would be no more. What? You grit your teeth. You're not my Milo. A hideous laugh echoed throughout the world. Oh, my love, you're so clever. I love that about you. You're right. I'm not your Milo. I'm your perfect love. You could feel your body heating up, screaming in terror. You wish you could reach inside of yourself and tear out this feeling. So you mustered what hatred you had to ask. Tell me, Milo, what makes you think that you've become my perfect love? Because you were the one who taught me. The one who can talk his way out of any situation just for my love. The one who will protect you, no matter the cost. Perhaps you don't remember, but I do. And I'm so happy. So very happy. I just wanted to make you happy. Because you deserve it. If my existence could mean anything in this world, wouldn't I only want you? You made me. Well, I mean, yeah. Exactly the kind of person that I needed to be. Just when I think this game can't surprise me anymore, it surprises me again. What? What was this? It looks so familiar, and yet you couldn't remember this at all. I was always yours, my love. Every single part of me, I devoted it all. I protected every part of you. I would never let you get hurt. Well, I mean, except for that one time where I got punched in the face and kicked in the stomach by Ryan, you let me get beat up. You didn't remember any of this, and yet all of it. It was too familiar to have been forgotten. I'm so happy. I became everything you wanted. Quit it! He's the every Milo. Every time you accepted me, I could feel my soul filled. Every time you trained me, I couldn't have been happier. I was nothing before. But now, I'm everything to you. Milo! Isn't this what you wanted? This is the Milo you've always wanted. Eep! You pushed Milo onto the floor, pinning him down. Those invisible threats holding you back felt like it was torn from your skin, but you didn't care. This perfect love was right in front of you. Or would she actually be all right with that? And yet, you couldn't let someone like this go. His face spazzed out in emotions as he tried to comprehend what was going on. Because I'm really so happy you came back to me over and over again. Oh, what can I say? I really like this game. I was just thinking, it's gonna be sad when I'm done recording this. To morph me into anything that you wish. His appearance changed suddenly. He reminded you of a cat, sly and cunning. Anything that would make you happy. Even if the little part of me that was left was utterly crushed under your foot. But it's still not enough, is it? No matter what, another appearance change. Now like a dog, loyal and ruthless. I want you to tear me apart over and over again.
reshape me to exactly what you want. I want to be everything you want me to be. So please, just do this for me. I want you to destroy everything so that we can finally be together. Huh? What? Destroy everything? This entire world, crushed into nothingness.
What do you mean by this?
Just the two of us.
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Milo smiled gently. I just want this last thing for us. I'm not normally this selfish, but if you care about me, even a little, please destroy everything. So we can be forever stuck in a loop together. So that nobody else can see our perfect love. Trapped together, everything saved. Destroyed. Please. He was broken beyond repair. He only had you left. How wonderful.
Ah!
This was exactly what you wanted, right? A corrosive and suffocating love. But then again, maybe it still wasn't enough. Just one more push.
I don't think you can push. What? I don't know which one does what. I'm assuming you want me to delete the game. But I don't want to delete the game.
Give him everything or take everything?
You know, I think I've taken enough. Just espoir inside the game. I think you've taken enough. I know one of these will probably delete my save, and I don't know which one that is. But let's see what giving something back to Milo for once does. What you want, baby?
It was everything you had ever wanted. You didn't have to go through the hassle of training a new pet. Who were you to deny such a perfect specimen? And if you didn't like the way the other versions of you made him, you can just remake him as you pleased. Oh, Milo, you are cute. And how could I say no to a face like that?
A face that's shifting between like 6 different endings.
Though I am curious. You caressed his face slowly, looking deep into his eyes. Just what did the other versions of me do to you? I want to know if they really are anything like me. Milo seemed to go quiet. Did you kill for them, Milo? Did you break their limbs? His figure spasms, the cruel and delinquent-looking Milo. Did we brand our love together? Did you crawl within my walls to win my affection?
Yeah, he did.
Aww. His figure spasms once more, the more sly-looking Milo. There was something quite thrilling about knowing that you had succeeded over and over again. How wonderful! It really did seem like we shaped you the way that we wanted.
Well, he's happy, you're happy, exactly as we had planned from the start.
Milo's form wavered at your comment. From the start? My love, what do you mean? You stared at him for a while, dumbfounded.
Yeah, I guess he never knew that was our plan from the beginning. Aw.
And then you smile. All around him, you surround him, reaching out to him, clawing their way towards him. Another of you grabbed him before he could even move, a sharp smile holding him as he struggled. No matter what, he could never escape from you.
The real you, the yous from all the times that you had broken him. Smiling, taunting him, laughing. You really don't know me at all, do you, Milo? Despite all these memories, all these lives, you still can't fathom who I really am. It's disappointing. Oh, Milo. But that's okay, my love. I'm a kind person. I won't leave your side. We'll do this again and again. I'll get Ryan to bully you so you'll meet me. We'll train so that you can be your perfect self. And if that's not enough, we'll do it all over again. We'll simply break you over and over again until you understand who we really are. Oh no! Milo's figure was panicking now. Yeah, as you should be. Trying desperately to escape the yous that bound him, the sweat dripping down his face. Don't worry, we'll make your dream come true. Let's just be trapped here together, forever. Wait, what are you doing? I just wanted to make you happy. I gave you everything, so why is it that you... Please, please... He was begging silently, but the hands were grabbing at him more and more, drowning him. You stroked his hair gently, before grabbing his face. Ah! Don't worry, Milo. You'll be glad to see me soon. No! You could see the cracks in his face as you crushed his head. Why I crush his head? Why I crush head? Come on now, me. Shh. Don't say anything, Milo. He's trying to keep his form together, but it was futile. You smiled. Good night, my love. I'll see you soon. Ah! You broke the boy. You broke the game and you broke the boy. And now I gotta restart the game and hope I don't get jump scared or something. Daisy! Daisy, help! Daisy, help. Daisy don't care. She's wondering why I'm screaming into the microphone. Oh. It erased it all. Yep, it erased it all. LOL. Well, I guess that's it. Only a crazy person would go back and do the entire game over again to try to get a different ending. Well, I did it. I went back, and thankfully the skip function still works, but I went back and got all the endings all over again. Just one more push. Okay, so I thought choosing to give him everything would be nice for him, but it turned out that it wasn't, so what if I take everything? Take everything. You should be happy, shouldn't you? The perfect love you always wanted, right in front of you. The perfect love you always wanted, right in front of you. Completely and totally for the taking. It's everything you've ever wanted, right? Right? Come on, to spoil the game. Right? And yet, it greatly irritated you. She wants the yandere that she earned. You didn't even have the chance to train him, to mold him into exactly what you wanted. Even if he was the result of other versions of you training him, you never had the pleasure to. Yeah, I was really happy twisting and molding this poor innocent boy into a killer. You would never be given the chance to make him just as you pleased. And that, in itself, was simply, completely unacceptable. Milo looked flustered, but overjoyed. Oh my, so aggressive. You're mine now, forever and always then, right? Milo, let me ask you. Why do you think we met in the first place, He laughed giddily. That's easy. It was destiny, wasn't it? Oh, Milo, you're so naive. Did you really think that this was all by chance? I made all of this happen. Yeah, Ryan points out that she set Ryan upon him to bully him. From the moment you locked eyes on me, it was all over, Milo. The reason why Ryan tortured you all so much was because of me. What? Yeah, Milo didn't know that. No, none of the Milos knew that. Aww. You could see his pupils trembling as he clutched onto his head. No, that can't be true. My love would never do that. Oh, Milo, that's exactly what I would do. Don't you know? I'm a monster. Oh. He couldn't stop it now, the tears streaming down his face. It's a shame you're such a liar, declaring me as your perfect love. As if you could have ever been. Oh. Why? Why would you do that? Why? Why did you torture me like that? His body, his face, it was all breaking apart. His will, his love, his agony, all spilling out. Ryan was... He almost made me want to end it all. And then you... No, I can't believe any of this. It was disgusting. It was unsettling. It was wonderful. Why would you do this? My love, my everything. Why? The answer is simple, of course, and something you should already know. I will do anything to get my perfect love, and that's why you'll let me end it all. Let's start from the beginning then, my love. He was struggling not to break under your words, your grip, trying to keep himself whole, to be all just one for you. With all that reddish ooze coming out of him, he was trying to keep it together. But you wouldn't let him. Just break from me, Milo. Don't you think it's the least you can do? For someone as useless as you. It was hard to hear him as he jumbled his words. No, I don't want it. I'm your perfect love. Everything I do, it's for you. Oh, I know, dear Milo. That's why you'll break for me. Oh, the boy. Oh, what have you done to the poor boy? You shouldn't have done that to the boy. You couldn't even see his mouth anymore. It was like watching a statue crumble before your eyes. His voice became smaller and smaller. No, please, Espoir, I don't want to. Please don't make me go back to that life. I just want to be with you. Hey, I can't read it. Just you. Only you. Please, I just... Bye, Milo. I'll see you again soon. Ah! Well, I think that's it. I think that's all I can do. Hey, you want to know something hilarious? I just learnt that the canon name of the MC is Ares. You know, The goddess of discord? Sometimes you play a game that just comes into your life unexpectedly and just moves you. You think you've seen everything, and then you see something you've never seen before, and it shakes you in your heart. I think it's taken me a week to finish playing this game. All the videos put together took hours of editing, and I think about 3 to 5 hours of recording. But even when editing, I was happy to do it. Every part of this game is so enjoyable. The sound design, everything has a little sound attached to it. How each character has their own little sound, like with the cat and the puppy sounds. The little accessories that he gets as the ending progresses, like the glasses and the hat. The title screen changing that one time, scaring the crap out of me. The title screen itself, the art style. I don't know if you've seen it before, but I have a playlist of games that I just really, really liked. Be it the character or just my experience playing it, and this game will definitely be in my favorites. I don't like it when it stares at me. I don't know what else to say except that this game was a phenomenal experience. Some of the most messed up yandere things I have come across. I think as far as unhinged characters go, the only ones I could think of that have the top spot would be Riker from Forcefully Yours and Dice from Wild Biker Boys, Loveless Biker Boys. Both of those games left me aghast and speechless with the shenanigans going on between these two. And then that ending. This has gotta be the meanest, cruelest character that I've ever seen in anything, anime or movie. There's probably someone who I'm leaving out, but the heiress/espoir in the game takes the cake. Perhaps in another future, Milo is safe and happy and enjoying his little sewings. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.